before we are going to start designing for tablet views or smart devices views, we are going to consider some of the responsive design techniques you need to keep in mind while designing for mobile screens or tablet screens or responsive websites. Okay, now the first thing is I'm going to show you is content prioritization, which means that on small screens we have less space available, so we might need to hide or show some of the content based on its importance. Okay, it is also called conditional loading, and you need to decide it with the users or your team members, like your CEO or the website owner, that what content is important for your users. You need to decide this with your client, that what content you are going to hide and what content you are going to show. Okay, now let me show you the example of content prioritization. So here you can see this is our desktop view. So on a mobile device we might need to hide one of these. Okay, so this is a paragraph, it might take some time, a space, and we are going to remove it, and instead we are going to show this. Okay, so this is more important line, which is don't let your customer abandon your website within first 3 seconds. Okay, so this is more important than reading this or showing this paragraph on a mobile screen. So what we do is we are going to hide this and we are going to move this over here. Okay, I am going to talk about other techniques, but right now it means that we are going to hide some of the things. We might need to hide these 4 elements into a button, and we are going to show this button. So 2 buttons at the top. So this is content prioritization. We need to this button is very important, so we need to keep it over here. Okay, so these are the things we are going to consider when we are designing for responsive websites. Okay, now next step is responsive images. We are going to deliver different images for different screens. Sometimes even the whole image is changed with some other image. I have seen it on a lot of websites because of its loading time and speed. Okay, so a bigger images, they are going to take a lot of time. So what developers do is they create different set of images for different screen sizes. Okay, so let me show you the example. Now here you can see we have this very big background image of this video player. Okay, so this background behind this play button, we are going to squeeze it on a mobile screen. So what we are going to do is, if its size is like 800 by 700 pixels, we are going to generate 3 different sizes. Maybe for a mobile screen we might generate a size which is just 400 pixels wide. Okay, so what it is going to do is it is going to load very fast on smaller screens. Okay, so this is the main technique behind these responsive images or changing different images on different screen sizes. Now the technique we use most of the time while designing is alter content block positions. What we are going to do is we are going to reposition our content blocks based on the screen size. For example, if you have seen some blogs, you can see that the sidebars normally move down the main content. Okay, so let me show you the example. Here is a template from someone, I think it's called Milana. Now what you can see over here is that it has 2 columns base main column layout, which is this one is our main content. You can see over here these are different posts, and this is basically the sidebar on the right side, about me, follow us, labels, and etc. Now when it is going to be squeezed on a mobile screen, you can see the main content is going to be at the top, and all other things you can see over here, about me and everything, they are repositioned at the bottom. Now this is also, they are applying content prioritization because this content is not much of a value. We need the user to see this content first. Okay, so this is how we are going to change the blocks of the whole design elements. Okay, now you can see there is one more thing, that even they change the whole layout. Okay, now the blog posts have different layout. They are in a card layout like that. Okay, so this is how you are going to design for responsive websites. One more consideration which a lot of designers don't understand is less usage of images. If you are going to load a ton of images on every screen of your website and it is going to take a lot of time for your website to load, you are going to really slow down your website. On smartphones, I think users are not going to wait more than 5 seconds to load the website. Okay, so your website should load very quickly. Now to make that happen, you need to use less images. Now let me show you the example of less images. Now what we are going to do is, you can see in this whole design there are only few images. Use one is this one, and these are the few team members, 4 images, and this background. So there are only 5 images in this whole design. These 4 will be SVG icons. I'm going to explain about it in the end. These are all going to be generated by CSS code or developers code. This can also be an SVG icon, and everything else is just CSS, or maybe this logo is an image. Everything else is not an image. So I think that it is going to be very small, less loading on your website, and very less size for images. Okay, now if you overlay something like that on an image, it is really going to make their size more less. Okay, so if you use image like this, full color image, it is going to be have some more size, okay, so in kilobytes